Today I'm back to bring you 5 more LEGO themes that died too soon. In this edition we're looking at licensed animated themes. Let's jump into it. Number 1. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Released in 2006, Avatar: The Last Airbender only ever received 2 sets, the Air Temple and the Fire Nation ship. While these sets were nice to get at the time, they only provided 6 unique minifigures between the 2 of them, leaving out plenty of notable characters from the original series that spanned 3 seasons and over 60 episodes during its 3-year run on Nickelodeon. I can't speak to what was personally left out of the LEGO sets, as I've never seen the show, but the fact that such a popular show received a mere 2 sets in 2006 is reason enough to consider this theme one that ended too early. Today, sealed copies of the original sets are rare and exceptionally expensive. If you are lucky enough to get your hands on either of them, it's likely to cost you somewhere in the range of $500 to $800. What makes this theme's lack of sets particularly painful is that the show experienced a huge surge in popularity in 2020, seemingly due to both lockdowns and the series being available on Netflix that would have offered LEGO the perfect opportunity to bring the theme back for at least another wave. Bringing the theme into 2020 would have allowed the LEGO Group to release all new sets based on the series, as well as even the Legend of Korra, or to re-release updated versions of the previous sets with modern LEGO parts. This would have been particularly beneficial for the Fire Nation ship, as it's really blocky, even for 2006 standards. The original build for the Air Temple isn't the best either. Its style is similar to that of the original LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts sets, but the front of the temple is just a facade and rather thin, without much detail put into the interior either, making the set appear lacking and incomplete. With how much LEGO sets have evolved over the years in their attention to detail, I can't help but feel like LEGO Avatar: The Last Airbender was shortchanged for being limited to the restraints of 2006 LEGO. Unfortunately, the surge of popularity in 2020 was short-lived, and the LEGO Group couldn't have feasibly capitalized on it, as they often plan sets up to a year or more in advance of release, and the spike in popularity seems to have come out of nowhere. Number 2. ScoobyDoo. ScoobyDoo is one of the most popular cartoons of all time, ranking number 5 according to the TV Guide, so it's no wonder that LEGO wanted to take a stab at bringing the mystery gang to life with sets and minifigures. When the theme was revealed back in January of 2015, fans were ecstatic. However, the theme only lasted a single wave, producing 5 sets and a single polybag. To be fair, the single wave was great, giving fans all 5 of the original crew, albeit they were spread across multiple sets. These minifigures are some of my all-time favorites, doing an outstanding job of representing their respective characters. Each member was given their own unique hairpiece, all of which are exclusive still to this day, as well as their own unique torso prints. This has led to some of them, like Velma, being highly sought after. She now goes for over $70 on the aftermarket. The 2 standout sets of the theme were the iconic Mystery Machine and Mystery Mansion, and buying these 2 would provide all the gang as well as some other extras. The wave also did a great job of providing a variety of spooky villains, including a mummy, headless horseman, and vampire. Another highlight from the wave was the Haunted Lighthouse. It was a very displayable build that included multiple exclusive minifigures too. All in all, the only downside to the theme was its short run and limited number of sets. With Scooby-Doo being such an iconic franchise, plenty of new LEGO fans surely now look back on the theme, wishing that they could have gotten their hands on some of these sets while they were still on the market. Additionally, the Scooby-Doo franchise has gone through so many variations through all of the different movies and series that LEGO had to leave many iconic heroes and villains on the cutting room floor when choosing what to include in their single wave. For example, there were no sets based on the popular live-action movies from the early 2000s or anything from the 90s classic Zombie Island, and LEGO evidently passed on the opportunity to bring the theme back with the release of 2020's Scoob as well. For the 2015 wave, LEGO chose to keep the theme centered on the most iconic series, the classic 60s Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, which all things considered was the right move. For a bonus fact, the LEGO Scooby-Doo theme did go on to release 2 feature-length films, Haunted Hollywood in 2016 and Blowout Beach Bash the following year. Both films are surprisingly well animated and fun to watch. They star the classic voice cast for the main characters as well. Additionally, some of them were packaged with an exclusive LEGO Scooby-Doo polybag. Double feature packs with the exclusive polybag were found at Walmart for $5 all the way up to 2021, in spite of everything else retiring almost 5 years earlier. Before the next entry, if you're liking the video so far, please subscribe, as I'm constantly working on new LEGO top 5s to share with all of you. Number 3. The Simpsons. The same list from TV Guide mentioned earlier that ranks Scooby-Doo as the 5th most popular cartoon of all time ranks The Simpsons as number 1. However, the show's partnership with LEGO was far more peculiar at the time, as The Simpsons is much more of an adult-oriented brand with innuendo, alcohol, and profanity. When the theme was announced, This was definitely more out of the ordinary for the LEGO Group than it is today, as LEGO has since gone on to greenlight other themes with similar content like Seinfeld, Friends, and The Big Bang Theory. From that perspective, The Simpsons acted as a testing ground for LEGO to see if the public would endorse them teaming up with more adult-oriented brands. The initial LEGO The Simpsons run began in 2014 with the release of the LEGO Simpsons house, and surprisingly, an entire minifigure series. An entire series dedicated to a single licensed property was nearly unheard of for the time. The only thing a bit similar to it was the series immediately preceding The Simpsons, which was licensed for the LEGO Movie. But with that being an in-house property, it was much more understandable. And even more outlandish, LEGO went on to release an entire second series of minifigures for the show the following year, alongside the release of the Quickie Mart. This provided fans with plenty of easy access to a plethora of their favorite characters from the series. Between the sets and minifigures, fans were provided with a whopping 42 unique characters. However, the theme has long since come to an end without any other notable releases. The only other released sets have been a Brickheadz duo and some LEGO Dimensions packs. Today, the minifigures are still relatively inexpensive on the aftermarket, but the house and Quickie Mart have skyrocketed into the $500 to $600 range for sealed copies. And because LEGO has grown so much since 2014, I have no doubt that a re-release, especially of the house, would be received extremely well from the fans. Number 4. Looney Tunes. The most recent theme on this list debuted at the end of April 2021 with a minifigure series of 12 characters, including the likes of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Roadrunner, and a host of others. The series released alongside a film starring the characters, Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. The minifigures themselves were great, albeit the series had a lack of interesting accessories and was definitely overpriced at the $5 mark. That's an opinion I've held for every series since the initiation of that ridiculous price, and I don't see myself letting go of it anytime soon. But that's a rant for a different day. Some standouts for the series are Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, and of course, Bugs Bunny. However, the biggest issue with the series was its lack of availability. The launch and exit dates for the series on Brickset are listed as the 26th of April to the 31st of August, giving the series an official window of just 4 months. Now, this 4-month window isn't atypical for a minifigure series, and even seems typical as LEGO regularly releases 3 series spread throughout each year. However, with more than any other minifigure series, Looney Tunes was just difficult to even find in stores, at least in my experience. For my area, many Walmarts never received even a single box of the series, and those that did only ever received one, never to be restocked before the series was discontinued. Additionally, I never came across the series in any other secondary stores such as Walgreens, which for a quick bonus tip is a good place to look for small LEGO sets and minifigure series that have been discontinued, as they don't receive nearly as much traffic as other major stores like Target and Walmart. There have been multiple times I've found minifigure series nearly a year old at Walgreens and other less visited stores. But getting back to Looney Tunes availability, I'm not sure why it was so limited, but there are some hypotheses that I've seen thrown around. First and foremost, the series was likely designed and produced during the height of 2020. Consequently, the series was likely subject to supply shortages that affected everything at that time. This would explain why many retailers seem to have only received a single box, if any at all. In the same way, Space Jam 2 received an unusual release, along with many other movies of that time, and reception for the film was mixed to negative, not giving LEGO any reason to attempt an extension of the series' production and availability. To give some credit, the series was available online for quite a while, even beyond the dates listed on Brickset from retailers such as Best Buy, but this isn't particularly helpful for buyers who try to avoid purchasing duplicates of single figures, especially when they cost a whopping $5 each. Okay, and I promise, I won't complain about the price anymore, at least in this video. All in all, the Looney Tunes series was a blink and you miss it release that was likely sold out long before many fans had a chance to pick up the figures. If this shortage was as real as I suspect, I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming years, the figures from the series jump up into the $10 to $15 range. In addition to the minifigure series, there was a Brickheadz duo released this year for Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, but after the short stint from the series and the lackluster reception of Space Jam 2, the theme is likely near dead at this point. For a bit of bonus trivia, some fans were disappointed when they realized that Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny's rival hunter, and arguably one of the most famous Looney Tunes, was left out of the series, while much less popular characters like Petunia Pig were included. Some have speculated that LEGO passed on the iconic hunter because of his gunslinging, a point of contention which has been brought up more than a few times in recent years. I personally think he should have been included in the series, even if it meant leaving out another character. Number 5. Adventure Time. Adventure Time is perhaps the most bizarre theme on this list when it comes to sets. In 2016, the theme made appearances tied to 2 other LEGO themes, LEGO Ideas and LEGO Dimensions. The LEGO Ideas set didn't include any minifigures, but instead consisted of a collection of brick-built characters from the show, making it one of the odder sets to come out of the LEGO Ideas line. However, Adventure Time did receive 4 minifigures through its LEGO Dimensions packs. These figures were Finn, Jake the dog, Lumpy Space Princess, and Marceline. This placed the Adventure Time theme in a particularly tight spot. The Ideas set isolated fans looking for minifigures, and likely missed out on a lot of sales because of that. Similarly, the Dimensions packs that did include minifigures isolated other fans that didn't want to invest in the LEGO Dimensions video game and all the cost associated with it if they weren't interested in the video game aspect of it. Without any regular sets ever being released, the Adventure Time theme was left to die in its peculiar position. This is a shame, as I'm sure longtime fans of the show would have loved to see more characters turned into minifigures. On top of this, the world of Adventure Time is vibrant and creative with plenty of fascinating locations that would have surely translated into some beautiful LEGO sets. In the years following the theme's retirement, Finn has shot up in value, now selling for around $30 in the United States, showing that there is at least some desire for the theme on the part of fans. All in all, at this rate, I don't ever see the theme coming back unless something major happens, like a total reboot of the franchise. And that's the conclusion of our 5 animated LEGO themes that died too soon. If I forgot to name any themes, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and if you have any stories about any of these sets or minifigures, please let me know that as well. I'd also like to know which of these themes you'd like to see come back, as well as those which you think are better off just dead. And until next time, see you later.